The difference between me and a liberal is that a liberal will vote for a war criminal. A liberal will vote for somebody who supports genocide. And I simply will not.
Hi, you popped up on my For You page. It's probably because I'm interacting more and more with leftists on this app now and getting involved and talking. So it's just natural at this point, right? But I do have a question. As a liberal, right, you said that you as a leftist could not support any war criminals or anybody who supports genocide. And that's great. Like, completely understand. Completely, that's the way it should be, right? But you also in your profile say that you're a Marxist and a Leninist. And I was wondering how you reconcile not supporting a war criminal when one of those people was arguably a war criminal. Like Marxist was a theorist of communism. So I mean, you call yourself a communist, a local communist. So I understand the Marxist part, but Lenin is arguably a terrible war criminal who killed thousands of people. And yet you call yourself a Leninist, but you say that you don't support a war criminal. Look, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, right? Like I have degrees in archaeology and history and classics, but I don't do that professionally, and my areas of specialty were like way far in the past, okay? But from what I can remember from my history courses and from researching online, Lenin was not a good guy. He was objectively not a good guy. He was basically an authoritarian. The Kronstadt Rebellion, 15,000 sailors that rebelled against Lenin, and that thousands died once Lenin's army squashed them, basically. Or the various peasant rebellions that happened during his time, where I think like 50, 60, 70,000 peasants stood up and revolted against him and his authoritarian regime. And then he sent in over 100,000 soldiers, and they quashed them by mass murdering, executions, mass arrests, poison gas. Like, the ICC wasn't invented yet, like it didn't exist at that time, but I'm pretty sure that all of that combined, they would have called him a war criminal. But you say that you don't support war criminals, but you are a Leninist. It doesn't make sense. And look, again, I'm not an expert by any means, but when quite a few historians would agree that he was not a good guy and that Lenin probably could be classified as a war criminal, I think that maybe you should revise what you actually believe in. Now, my guess is that you like him as a theorist, right? Like, you like Marxism and Leninism as a theory, but you have to be able to reconcile that with the fact that Lenin was an actual human being who ruled over the USSR. And in doing so, he killed tens of thousands of people. He brought on famines. He had secret police that would bring people out of their houses, kind of like what's happening here, and then drag them away to never be heard from again or to be publicly executed. So my question remains, how do you reconcile with you not supporting war criminals, but still calling yourself a Leninist? You know, just because the codification of what defines a war crime didn't exist during Lenin's time doesn't mean that it didn't exist. Just one liberal to a leftist communist.